go to court to testify about things you have like seen or witnessed?
Yes, absolutely. I would like to witness, to be a witness of how these secret societies, especially the various secret societies involved in Satanism, have infiltrated every other form of today of clubbing, like the Rotary, the Lions Club, the Freemasons. These have all been infiltrated and now controlled by the Satanists. The Satanists are in control of this of the Western mentality of wanting to belong to a secret society for some particular reason, and that particular reason is in Western men a sense of pride in belonging to these societies. You know, that's why they give themselves grand titles, grand names, but I will be definitely ready to witness what I saw in regards to this lobby of people on the top who really doesn't care much of what happens below, but they are in control of the life of millions of people below by the decisions.
People worshipped the demons.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like there? What kind of people were there?
Well, it was a big surprise for me, as I kind of made up in my mind an idea that they were going to be rough-looking characters. But as we entered the place, I was amazed to see that they were all very well dressed, well mannered, and that a lot of the people, as we were being introduced to people, were professionals, doctors, attorneys, a lot of business people, a lot of business people, a lot of business people. And that was the beginning of it.
That's how you got into it.
Yeah, that's the way I got into it. After a while, you see, There's something interesting about the human mind. You can adjust an awful lot of stuff. You can adjust to a lot of things that would terrify you to begin with. After a while, they become common and ordinary.
So you mean contact with the supernatural can become commonplace and ordinary and doesn't bother anybody?
Yeah.
In other words, the more that you do it, you're not uncomfortable.
That's
it's
right.
just not an uneasy feeling.
Yeah.
So
But
how did
then-
you feel about it?
Then I
after
got
that?
into a secret society that worshiped the spirits, you see. That
Well,
was
okay,
different.
now how is that different from the seance, Roger?
It happens that the seance are not involving in many ways. But when you get into a secret society of spirit worshippers, then, and especially when you're invited there by the direction of the higher ups in the spirit world, you never get out of there alive. It went from there. We got talking about spirit worship.
Did it intrigue you? Or did it make you want to find out more about what exactly he was talking about?
Yeah. So he said the supposed spirits of the dead that you're talking with are demon spirits. They're fallen angels. They're beautiful beings.
Just set it out, just like
Oh
that.
yeah.
It didn't make you uneasy when he said they were
Well,
just
you know, it
demons?
shocked you a little bit, you know, something that you first hear mentioned. And he told us, he says, look, we worship spirits. We worship Lucifer and all his angels. They're just as beautiful as they did before they were cast out of heaven. He says there was a misunderstanding in the whole thing, he says, among the inhabitants of the galaxies. And he says our master was misunderstood, and God did not bear with him like he does with people that make mistakes today. So we're in a warfare, good against evil. And we happen to be the evil ones, but we're not that bad. He says, I look at this business between the forces of good and evil. He says, you believe in one person believes in God, and everyone believes in Lucifer. It's like politics.
So the great controversy is real. And you've
yeah.
heard someone talk about it that's on the other side.
And to these people, they are sold to the fact that Christ will not return to this planet with power and great glory. He's going to abdicate all claims to the planet, because the high priest once said that Christ will abdicate all claim to the planet because he knows that it is lawfully and rightfully Satan's. And at that time he says, Lucifer, you mentioned Lucifer a lot of times, but he mentions Satan also. He says, the master, usually they like to talk about the master will resurrect his people from the graves.
Roger, your friend George took you and Roland to this mansion where people worshipped the demons. What was it like there? What kind of people were there?
Well, it was a big surprise for me, as I kind of made up in my mind an idea that they were going to be rough-looking characters. But as we entered the place, I was amazed to see that they were all very well dressed, well mannered, and that a lot of the people, as we were being introduced to people, were professionals, doctors, attorneys, a lot of business people. And see what they had? They had a praise session to the gods, which is the spirit counselors, which are in charge of legions of spirits, of demon spirits. And they talk about what the Lord of their lives has done for them, because they call on particular spirits, like the god Nehushtan, which you read in 2 King about. The Israelites worshipped the golden serpent that Moses had made. Well, behind the spirit worship, behind that, they were worshiping the serpent. They were actually worshiping this spirit Nehushtan.
Now, I recall reading in your book that at this praise worship service they would sing hymns. Why would they sing hymns in a demon worship?
Yeah, this was kind of a big surprise to me when that took place. The priest said, hey, let's go down to the worship room of the gods and have a praise session. a singing session. So we go down there, and what did you think they pass around? Church hymnals, Christian church hymnals. And I couldn't believe this. I said, what's his business? So the priest says, well, now, he says, for those of you that are new, let me tell you that this is the most feasible way, he says, to please the spirits. It's to deride Christ and his people, and his church and all that. So they sing out of Christian hymnals.
They didn't sing Christian words to the hymns, however.
Well, they changed a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and not for the good.
It's a form of blasphemy. Yeah. Such as you see today in the rock music world. You see the entertainers; they have these crosses. Mm-hmm. Ladies got earrings, crosses. Mm-hmm. The guys got the cross. This is a form of blasphemy, a form of deriding Christ. You see. Spirits cause the people to do that, to find pleasure in wearing this type of emblem, which is the cross is the emblem of the crucifixion of Christ to the Christians. These people in Montreal, the society, like the priest mentioned, there's thousands of spirit worshippers, in different societies of spirit worshippers in this world. But he says, we are the elite. We know the real truth about the Master and his angels. And they are not hideous-looking beings. They are gorgeous creatures. And from the paintings that they had on the wall of the walls of that worship room, they were unique beings. Especially there was a painting full length painting of the fallen Lucifer above his altar, and that was very fascinating because he looked like a man of great intellect, high forehead. The way that he looked with his eyes, the way he had the eyes looking, it gave you a depth of perception of somebody that is very, very knowledgeable and powerful. Yeah.
There will be like many people who will review this information, and especially if they are unfamiliar with these kind of subjects, they will still dismiss everything, like the whole concept of New World Order and conspiracy to bring forth the New World Order. There will be people who will dismiss it as impossible. Like, what would you have to say to them?
Well, good for them. I hope they will live a nice life without having any problems and without being in any way manipulated by the New World Order. But this is nearly impossible because everybody has media, everybody nowadays has access to the internet, and everybody is manipulated by the Big Brother and by this big giant monster that the Christians call the beast of the prophecies.
In response to this information that you bring out, what could be done or what should be done?
Well, first of all, they should finish with this show in Israel, in Palestine. It's the whole show with the Middle Eastern conflict, which is sponsored by foreign intelligence agency to create just havoc. I hope this will end at some point, because it's bringing a lot of sadness and a lot of conflict amongst people. And at the same time, I wish that in the contemporary world, the people will be more aware of what is going on around them, and not to dismiss these secret societies as an invention of pure fiction or fantasy, but as something concrete that is actually deciding for their lives every day. And I hope that they realize sooner or later that if you don't open your eyes to this and you don't do something, you will be suddenly microchipped and taken over by the beast.